You make a highly visible mistake at work, or finally hang up with a friend who drains your energy. You can feel the pressure building in your chest, and your mind starts spinning. Society has a specific definition of mental toughness. We are told that strength is silence, that it means never flinching and never failing. This flowchart illustrates how our brains actually process adversity. The straight line hitting a solid wall represents emotional suppression, bottling things up until you break. The fluid path shows true mental strength, which involves recognizing pain and actively navigating obstacles. Building this level of resilience requires the repetitive execution of 7 specific daily habits. The first sign of a mentally strong person is the practice of emotional control. Control means feeling anger or frustration fully, but refusing to let those emotions dictate immediate actions. If you receive an inflammatory email, the instinct is to fire back an angry reply immediately. Emotional control is the conscious decision to step away from the keyboard, take a breath, and wait until you can approach the situation rationally. The second sign is the ability to set unapologetic boundaries. Burnout happens when we allow external demands to constantly override our internal limits. This diagram shows the mechanics of boundary setting. You operate on a finite energy battery. Saying no to a new, low-priority request allows you to successfully fulfill your existing commitments. Mastering your internal reactions and holding firm on your external boundaries form the baseline defense system required to maintain long-term mental stamina. Moving outward, the third sign is the ability to handle criticism by detaching from your self-worth. When someone delivers a harsh critique, a resilient mind acts like a filter. It strips away the toxic tone or the negative delivery, extracts the actual actionable data, and leaves the rest behind. This analytical approach leads directly to the fourth sign, treating failure as a data point rather than a permanent identity. We can see exactly how this works by looking at Thomas Edison. In 1914, a massive fire burned Edison's factory to the ground, destroying one-of-a-kind prototypes and causing tens of millions in damage. Edison did not panic or quit. He surveyed the total destruction of his life's work and reportedly said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start fresh again." This excerpt from a clinical psychology text perfectly describes Edison's reaction. Under a growth mindset, human qualities are malleable, and challenges and obstacles are viewed as a natural part of learning. Applying a growth mindset neutralizes the fear of failure. Every devastating loss is reclassified as a necessary lesson on the path to success. The fifth sign is the practice of self-discipline when motivation disappears. Motivation is a temporary emotional state. It is highly unreliable. If you plan to run 3 miles, motivation gets you out the door when it is sunny and 70 degrees. Discipline is lacing up your shoes and executing the exact same plan in the freezing rain. That discipline feeds into the sixth sign, realistic optimism. When terrible things happen, mentally strong people accept the harsh reality of their situation immediately and then start looking for a way forward. Psychologists call this transcendence, using profound personal struggle to create deeper meaning. Take Ludwig van Beethoven. Beethoven lost his hearing, which for a composer is the ultimate tragedy. He channeled the despair and isolation of his deafness directly into his work, composing his masterpiece, the Ninth Symphony, while entirely unable to hear it. The seventh and final sign is keeping your focus locked entirely on your own personal growth, refusing to compare your progress to anyone else's. When you combine the discipline to execute without motivation, the capacity to forge meaning out of tragedy, and a strict focus on your own path, you generate forward momentum that is nearly impossible to stop. Looking at this diagram, these 7 signs operate together as a cohesive system. Because of neuroplasticity, practicing these habits physically rewires your brain. The neural pathways associated with emotional control and reframing failure become thicker and faster, making them easier to execute. Take a look at your own habits. Which of these 7 signs do you already excel at, and which will require deliberate practice this week? Let us know down in the comments. A powerful mind is sustained through vulnerability, active effort, and self-compassion. These are the traits that generate unbreakable forward